What's up, guys? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the overall market. Just note that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $2,000, you're guaranteed 30 in total, and the offer ends at the end of March. Anyways, as far as the market is going, we have a very nice accumulation forming on Tesla right here. And we're still trying to hold support. Now, I mentioned to you all if Tesla could hold the support, we are going to be expecting a bounce after we got this big dump that happened involving the EV mandate shift, which just happened under the next administration, right? It's not like this is a permanent move to the downside. It's not like Tesla's going to crash forever. This is actually trying to rebound very, very nicely right here. We're going to be watching to see if Tesla could break this previous support, becoming resistance very close to about 426, and then see if we could get back into this channel to start uptrending again. And the main support right now is at this 413 zone, 410 to 413, I would say. Remember this blue trend line? As you guys can see, we're holding this blue trend line very, very nicely. If we lose this, I will be a little bit more concerned, and Tesla could start dipping closer to much lower levels, like the low 400s. But so far, the buyers came back and they're defending the trend line that held Tesla up since October. So this implies that Tesla's trying to bounce, it's trying to push with the markets, and Tesla could try to continue this pump to retest this trend line or even try to get back into this channel. It is still trying to bounce, so as of right now, it favors that bounce, and looks like it wants to get back to the mid to higher 420s. So a good job by Tesla and the buyers who are once again trying to defend. As far as SPY is going, we have a very similar setup as the QQQs. We're breaking out right over here, and we're approaching this imbalance, which would take us all the way up to about that 606 area. If we were to lose 600, I would be concerned, but I said as long as we're above 600, we're favoring 602, 605, then all-time highs. And as you guys could tell, we're in the 602s, so we should be heading towards 605 and eventually new all-time highs at this rate. So you guys can see the effect of the inauguration and other factors like that as buyers are slowly coming back. And SPY could be trying to approach all-time highs all over again. So we're looking bullish so far. As long as 600 holds, we could be looking for 605, then new all-time highs. QQQ is looking bullish. We have a nice inverse head and shoulders like structure. I mentioned to everyone this should try to bounce soon, and we're looking for essentially 627 as our target, or 527, excuse me. We're doing a good job. Nice inverse head and shoulders like structure. We're holding up very, very well. And I think that this has a lot more potential to push higher for these highs up here. So I'm looking for essentially 627 as our targets. Nice inverse head and shoulders bounce, and we'll see if this continues. The Russell 2000 is also breaking out right here. We want to see this continue as well. If we were to hypothetically end up losing 228, we're looking for an attempt to continue to push back up to about 230. If we lose 228, we're looking for a dip back down to 226. But as long as we hold 228, we're looking for a bounce for 230. I think this is on the way to get back up there. ES is holding it very, very nicely. This could be on its way for about the 6100 area. I've been saying that for quite a while. If we were to lose 6030 when we turn back down to where this trend line is, otherwise we favor the upside. So we're favoring upside for 6100 as long as you don't lose support. NQ is looking bullish. We're getting closer to about 22,000. I think we're going to likely continue to push. I think we could be on our way up to about 22,000. Bitcoin's looking a bit more bullish, but there is tough resistance right here around this 107,500 area. Although it may dip here and try to retest the current 6,000, we'll see if we bounce off this to try to continue to push. We're about to get a bullish cross on the PPO, so look for a small dip here, closer to the 105,000 range before it tries to bounce. So just keep that in mind. For Nvidia, we're doing something very good for once. We're actually seeing this thing breaking past the 140 area. After weeks of it just consolidating, trading sideways, showing some weakness, we're finally breaking past 140, and that's a good sign for Nvidia to try to get up to about 144. Overall, it's slowly pushing up. It's looking more promising, so great job by Nvidia. Aapl dumped really hard, as we were talking about, all the way down to about the 219s, but now buyers are defending it. As long as you hold 220, there could be a bounce tomorrow back up towards 223 or so. I'm hoping we hold above 220 to bounce. So far, there's potential for that going into tomorrow. And that is under the assumption there's no bad news, by the way, because we've been getting lots of bad news for Aapl lately. As long as there's no bad news, that could bounce back up. Coinbase is looking so-so. If we could break 300, I'm looking for 308. If we end up losing 290, we're looking for a dip back down towards the 281 area. So we'll see if we could break 300 to continue to push. I see potential in this, so we'll see if that ends up happening. Amazon's looking a bit more bullish. If we end up losing just hypothetically this 229 area, we're looking for a dip back down to 225. If we could break past 230, we're looking for an attempt to get back up towards 233. So I think that this is still favoring upside for 233. I think it's doing a great job so far. Meta is also looking bullish. We have a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. If we were to lose 609, we're looking for a dip back down towards the low 600s. As long as we hold 609, we're looking for an attempt to push back up for 625. So I see potential in this. For Microsoft, if we end up losing 428, we're looking for essentially 425 as our target. If that fails us, we dip back down towards 421. As long as we hold support, we could try to bounce back up for essentially the 430s, like 435. So I think this is favoring that it wants to rebound as long as you hold 428 for essentially 435. There is potential in this. Google is looking pretty good. We have 200 as our resistance where Google happens to be. If we break through that, we're looking for an attempt to push back up towards 202.5. If we end up losing 200, we're looking for a dip back down to fill this gap at 197. I think that Google is looking promising as long as we could hold 200. It is a tough resistance, so we'll see how well it does at doing that. But overall, nice setup. It's still holding quite well, and this does have potential to try to get a little higher if we could try to hold 200. With that being said, Tesla dumped quite a bit in the morning, and now the buyers are returning, trying to defend this trend line. They're also defending its 4-hour 50 EMA, which is a good sign so far. Hopefully, Tesla holds this level, especially approaching tomorrow, and we continue to bounce. So far, so good for buyers who are trying to defend. Thank you all so much for listening. I want to make this video very short. I'll be back in a couple of hours for one final update of the day. So have a good day, guys, and peace out.